Hi, I'm doing my vlog today. I slept for a large portion of the morning, so as I said, vlogging every day, it takes a certain amount of discipline. It really does, and bitch, I don't have too much of that because, like when you have it, when it's forced on you. I went the opposite way. When I couldn't have candy, I ate all the candy. That's just kind of how I am. But anyway, I guess I'll talk about my day. I woke up this morning and I had Sour Patch Kids for breakfast. Wasn't the only thing I had for breakfast, but I bought some yesterday and I'm being rude. This is my boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. This is my husband Adrian. And that's Chucky, the big one, and Dude, who's all up in his like grill there. And there are various other dogs around, but they'll come and go. I don't know. Anyway, my Chucky video did pretty well, or I was, my husband informed me I looked like a good guy doll yesterday, and I did, because I'm super short, like I'm super short, and I was wearing these sneakers. Anyway, whatever. Watch the video. But yesterday I went to go see my mother-in-law. And if you watch my vlogs at all, you'll know that a day before that, I had made a video that pertained a little bit to my own mother. And so having to go see his mom the day after that was a little traumatic for me. It's like subconscious distress almost, where I have no reason for going to see his mother, traumatizing me, right? Max is wanting attention. But for some reason, after I see her, for some reason, it ignites something in me that causes some latent trauma. And like for a couple days, I'm no good. Like I can't, usually I'll play a video game. Haven't played a video game all day. I slept for part of the day. And when I went to sleep, I had one of the worst dreams in the world. I dreamed that I was at a wedding for my mom and my stepdad. And I don't know why I dream about that. And that for some reason during the wedding, we were sat at a certain table. And then one of my friends says to me, why were we seated so far away from the bride and groom? And then I got offended in my dream, and then I got in a big fight with my mom, and I'm actually screaming like Jack Torrance at the end of The Shining to my husband back here. I'm like this sleeping, and I'm like just at the shot, and he doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I was screaming at my mother, you knew all along where you set me, because she was trying to say, oh no, I set you there because you were wearing bad clothing. And I was like, bitch, you would have had the seating arrangement. Anyway, it was a shitty dream. And then at the very end, I'm not joking, there was a little like wooden cabin. And who comes out but Freddy Krueger on fire? Not kidding. And then comes up and starts ripping my shirt, but not killing me or anything. And I'll tell you this, it was actually relieving to see Freddy Krueger than it was to talk to my mother about how much she didn't love me. Because that's what I went into her room and confronted her and said, you knew you sat me back there in the nosebleed section of your own wedding. You don't love me, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, trauma that has stemmed from, and I know I talk a lot and I'm so sorry, but it's a vlog. And it stems from my own trauma with my own mother and a little bit of guilt about not dealing with my own mother. But I have in my view, for my life, nobody has to live it but me. It would be a situation that would never, it's fire and ice. We were not ever meant to be in the same room, and thank you for aliving me, and that's about it, So I have my own issues with my mother, and there's not, there is a little part of me that still loves her. I think maybe it's just obligation. I'm not entirely sure, but she's given me a lot of reason to just not love her anymore. And I haven't spoken to my mother in 7 years, and yet today I had a dream so vivid and so real that I woke up not knowing where I was and crying for a half an hour. And that was brought on by my trauma that was brought on by that bitch. Okay? So I don't really want to sit here and whine about my mom and poor me. I'm just saying that when I deal with his mother, I have my own mother trauma. And some of trauma that we have, and I want to just say this because I think it's important. Some of the trauma that I believe that I have, and I encourage you to look into yourself. Some of the trauma that I relive is projection. Sometimes we don't remember everything correctly, and I'm absolutely positive that I don't remember every single thing in my childhood correctly. So I'm like in my 50s trying to sort the fuck out what is just projection on my part, what actually happened to me, and sorting out those things through therapy and, well, drugs. Unfortunately, I have to take several things that are prescribed to me for anxiety. And I have been formally diagnosed with complex PTSD. He said it was one of the worst cases that he'd ever particularly worked with, but he's just a psychiatrist in Indiana, so who knows? I mean, I'm sure, he's not in New York or anything, but so I'm not saying I'm the worst, but I've been working with him for a long, long time, and I've been on that medication for a very long time. As I stated before, now I'm on ketamine therapy, and I also grow mushrooms, and I believe psilocybin is going to be the thing that hooks everything together. And I'll start doing mushrooms on another channel if anyone wants to see that. But anyway, I had a nice lunch with my mother-in-law, and it was all great, and seeing her was a wonderful thing. It's, she hasn't done anything to me. As a matter of fact, she's done nothing but help me in my life, and in some ways has welcomed me more into the family I'm in now than anyone else has. So I'm thankful for that. And my life isn't bad. I have a good life. I just have a lot of past trauma. But it's hard when you have PTSD and you are forced to live in the past. And the people that manipulated you and tried to tell you that it was all in your head, they accuse you of living in the past, and to get over it, nobody should ever tell you to get over it. No, you need to move on past it, but it gives you abilities and discernment and toughness. So when you feel at your weakest and have night terrors, day terrors, what the hell ever, know that you are very tough. You can withstand any fucking thing. And you are, because you're here. So I'm thankful for that too. I'm thankful for strong ass people. And anyone that would watch my vlog is probably a strong ass person. Or a troll. I don't know. They're both fine choices. Anyway, this is my hubby Wubby, as I stated before. He likes to cook with me. We like to cook with each other. And play Yahtzee? No, I don't think we've ever played Yahtzee. He kicks ass in chess, though. He's got me on the physical chess, but I got him on the up here chess. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So with that, I really don't have too much else to say. I drone on quite a bit, probably why vlogs seem to come naturally to me, and why I don't feel the need to edit, because in my own way, that is my art, to put myself out there unedited and uninhibited. And I feel okay about that. I love my family. That's Miku. She's the Pomeranian. Look, oh, she's a pretty girl. And most of my family I love very, very much. I feel like I just didn't bond well with my mother. And I don't blame her entirely for that. Nor do I blame her entirely for just being different in the brain. I don't think we were just ever meant to be mother and daughter. It just so happened to be that way. So, I let go of most of that anger a long time ago. It showed up the other day, sure, but I don't spend my days sitting around thinking about her. Very, very few times do I think about her. As a matter of fact, I think about her maybe when I visit my mother-in-law. Um, but I think that that's a natural thing. More than that, it doesn't even come into my brain. So I don't relive my trauma all the time because, like I said, it's been 7 years and I've moved past that. But I do deal with things every single day that make it harder for me and harder on the other people around me because I'm constantly projecting my shit onto them. But I am trying, and like I said, I do get therapy and things like that. So um, I'm a work in progress, not a failure entirely, but human. And you are too, and you're strong and beautiful. And remember, no matter what's wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you. And just realize you're priceless. You're absolutely priceless. And I guess that's all I have to say. I hope that I didn't drone on too long or too boringly. I hope you have a happy night.